Q, I'm so bummed about this. I don't know if you knew this, but you were my winner pick.
Really?
Yeah. I
I
was
am
so I was
so
so impressed by you
sorry.
out in Fiji. Like I really was like, I think he can do it. I think he has the
Yeah.
chops for it.
And listen, I was doing it.
You were doing
Everything that
so well.
you can think, okay, you come into a season and you're thinking like, okay, Kyrie's going to be a target. How will he handle it? How will he handle leaving day one, not being a part of his tribe, and coming back? Is he going to overplay his hand? Is he going to go into? No, I came back. I played that scenario the best way that it could have been played at that time. And I got into a majority alliance in which my voice was being heard, but I wasn't the one that was really wanting all of the credit. I wanted the ideas. I wanted everybody to think for themselves. I wanted to bring everybody together. So, man, listen, I was having so much fun. The game had slowed down a little bit for me. I was starting to see things differently. I understood the process. So, the version of me that you were watching over these last three episodes was a better version of me from 46. It was still, entertaining from what people say. It was still cute having its raw, authentic moments, but it was more calm and settled and likable. And that's what I was in the game, likable. And here we go on day 7. You're talking about swapping. Listen, that's like going to the casino and playing roulette, and all of a sudden, all of the numbers on the board disappear, and it's only 3 numbers, and I don't have any chips on them.
Yeah, you just got
I'm
a bad
gonna
hand.
lose. I've
You got a bad
lost.
hand. Yeah.
Terrible.
And you were very likable. That's what I observed from you on set in Fiji. Like it was like from your interviews, you were calm and collected and you like had learned from your mistakes from 46 and you had a
Yep.
plan to have for how to avoid them. And then in
Yep.
those first days, you were so likable at the camps. I was like, everybody's following him. They like him. And it was after you had come back from Exile Island
Yes.
with Ozzy. And I was like, he can do this. He can, if he can stay locked in, he can do this. I was really impressed. And
Yep.
then Mike White came for you.
Well, and it's not even that, Kelly. I tell people like this: in that scenario, who else do you come for? Who else makes a splash? Who, like, no one else on that beach right there is really concerning as much as I am in terms of what they think of me. Now, if you give me those, maybe those same people, and we have 5, 6 days together like we did on Batu, maybe I can change the mind of Mike White. Maybe I can change the mind of Emily, and we get to know each other a lot more. But when you say we're going to swap, we're going to have a challenge and a tribal the very next, there's no time for it. It has to happen immediately. And now I'm at a major disadvantage because I'm trying to build a relationship and an understanding with people who've known each other for 7, 8 years, people who play games together outside of Survivor. That can't work. That's not going to work. All right,
Yeah.
they're going to stick to who they know and what they know. And they don't know me. I'm a foreign object. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
And like it's part of the game, and I respect it. And like I said, I'm never a bitter player. I'm never one of those to. But I do kind of wish I could have had just one more day with my original Batu tribe. I wanted to run that last challenge because we talked about throwing the challenge before that. So we would have definitely 1,000% thrown this next challenge, Batu,
To get Angelina out.
to get Aubrey or Angelina out because we knew Aubrey had that idol. We
In your
knew.
gut. Yeah. You guys knew you had a feeling that she might, and you were
Well,
predicting
no,
it
no,
would make
no.
her
It
try it
wasn't. It
out.
wasn't a gut thing. Like we
Oh, you're
used to
talking about
keep our,
later.
yeah, we used to keep our bags all in one area. Really.
Mhm.
One day, Aubrey takes her bag and walks out of camp. Has never done that, and she's walking the opposite direction as to where we go to the bathroom.
So you think that happened after Christian sent her the idol? Because in the
It did.
episode, it looked like it happened like you looked in her bag and then she got the idol.
Well, it was kind of out of order, but no, we only looked after she did that. It wasn't
Okay.
before. It was
Okay. Okay.
after because Genevieve spotted it out, and I was like, "Yeah, that was weird." And then when she came back, she put her bag down. We all took it to the beach. We thought it was, but she probably had it on her at that time.
Mm, okay.
But we knew it was no convincing me that she did not have it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, she has it. So we have to either flush it. But Aubrey and I had a relationship to where had we gone to the tribal, my name was definitely not coming up to be written down. So
Yeah.
I at least make it through that one vote. I get my vote back. And another thing was, like I told Genevieve and all of them before that challenge, I was like, my fear is we're going to have this challenge today. If we don't lose, we're going to swap before we get a chance to throw another challenge. And I don't want me and Kobe to go on the same tribe and be sitting ducks down 2 votes. And I don't want to go on a tribe where I'm by myself with no vote. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go home. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Swapped the next day. And Genevieve came back. She was like, Q, I'm sorry, we couldn't throw it. And I was like, it's cool because Sela was so bad at this last challenge. Like they dropped like 8 times. We didn't
Mhm.
drop once. We were just slow. And it was like, how do we throw this one?
Yeah.
Like they're so bad at this one. But the next one was definitely one we could have thrown and would have thrown. And we're not talking today. You're talking to somebody else and not Q.
Yeah. I got to ask too, you and Aubrey, of course, had that like shared history. I talked to both of you about it on the preseason. Did you guys ever talk about that,
We
about the
did.
Mariah of it all
We
at
did.
camp?
The
Yeah.
second, the second I got to the beach, me and Aubrey talked, we hugged, and it was a moment where I'm just saying, like, hey, that's me playing the game. She was like, oh, I know. I was like, she was like, can I hug you? I was like, please, let's do it. We had a conversation about it, and I felt good again about Aubrey. The only thing was once the whole idol thing happened, and then she didn't tell me about it. And another thing Aubrey started to do after that, this is crazy, but she was like, Q, I know something is here. Let's make sure we're looking underneath the shelter. Let's look up. But I had already known Genevieve had found what was there. So how can she be so sure that something is there unless she now knows she has something? So that was like, it was so many things that happened to where I was like, 120% sure Aubrey had it. And it was one of those things like, okay, if she has it, I just need to stay on her good side in case she plays it. It's not my name that she's writing down. But we had that conversation and we were all fine. We laughed, we hugged about it, we moved on.
Yeah.
And she was more so concerned with everybody else and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you asked Ozzy if he got you out in tribal council, and he said yes. But when did you learn that
No,
it was really?
Ozzy actually said no.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
I swear. I asked Ozzy, I said, was this you? He was like, nah. And you can see him kind of shaking his head in the episode. If you go back and watch it, he was shaking his head, nah.
Was this you? Yeah.
But the verbiage said he
The
he
caption,
said
I
no.
think, said yeah. Maybe the caption,
The
it
captain
sounded
said
like,
yes. Yes.
oh,
But he said nah. And then I was like, all right, cool. But
when did you learn it was Mike White though?
oh, just now.
Oh, when you watched the episode last night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
this whole time I'm thinking it's Ozzy because he did vote. I knew he voted for me
Mhm.
because when I got back to punt, I started to replay it. I was like, well, Ozzy had to vote for me, or else Jeff would have read 2 Angelina votes. He only read one. So I was like, okay, Ozzy definitely voted for me and Flip. But I'm thinking it was more so the reason of me knowing too much information about him, about his extra vote, about his idol and everything. He lied to me about his extra vote when we was on Batu, and I kind of caught that. I was like, oh, this guy's lying to me. I said in a
Oh, you
confessional.
could sense it. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, oh yeah, I could sense it. And then
I guess he didn't have it anymore, but he
well,
already
right.
had it.
But at the
Yeah.
time, even then, he was telling the truth, but he was lying about who he sent it to.
Mm.
But I thought he was just lying altogether because the way it was weird. It was like a pause. It was like I had to give it away because I had to save myself at the last try. But I'm thinking like you had an idol, so if you had to save yourself for real, you would have played your idol. Not
Yeah.
give your extra vote to somebody. But he actually did give his extra vote to somebody, but it happened to be Saria, not Joe. But it was just one of those things where um the swap. I pulled the
Yeah.
wrong one, and it happens. It is what it is. It's part of the game. Somebody had to leave at that slot, and it just so happened to be me.
Yeah, unfortunately. I got to ask, what can you explain your thought process behind telling Mike White to vote for you? That's something you
Yeah.
did in 46 as well. What explain the logic to me?
Yeah, so it's always strategy for me. All right,
Mhm.
so I'm thinking at the time, Mike White is saying that he's going to vote for Stephanie, and Stephanie started to say, "Well, if they're voting for me, Q, there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to play my shot in the dark." And I was like, "Okay, listen, Stephanie, I'm gonna get the votes on me. They're supposed to go on you. Will that make you calm?" She was like, "Yes," because I knew as long as Ozzy and Emily stuck with Stephanie and they vote Angelina, it did not matter if Kristen, Angelina, and Mike White voted me, but it mattered a lot if they voted Stephanie. Because if they vote me, it's a tie on a revote. Angelina can't vote again. Now it's 3-2. Boom, as it can go. But if they vote Stephanie, now it's 2-2. Now they realize I don't have my vote or I didn't vote. They're going to turn on Stephanie and I'm going to go the next day anyways. So I'm thinking like, okay, make them vote for me while I don't have a vote anyways, then force the tie, and then on the revote, three of y'all can vote out Angelina. Didn't work that way because Emily and Ozzy flipped, but it was just my way of making sure at the time Stephanie being my number one on the beach was comfortable because I needed her not to play her shot in the dark and to actually vote the way we needed her to vote. I just did not understand and know at the time that Ozzy and Emily was going the other direction.
Yeah, and you really it was a true blindside for you. You had no sense that Mike White
Well,
had campaigned for you at all.
no, no, no. I knew, like I said, I knew I was going to get 3 votes for sure. At that time, like he had already said he was voting for me. Kristen said he was
Well,
voting
yeah.
for me, and
After
I
you
knew
said you
Angela.
should vote for me, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then and Kristen told me he was voting for me. And then Angelina, where else is she gonna vote? So I kind of knew then, okay, I'm gonna have 3 votes. What I did not know that Emily and Hansi was also going to vote for me as well. So again, the more and more I think about it, was the right plan, just for the wrong people, wrong group.
Yeah, and it's like you said, you just got unlucky with the tribe swap. Like you really
Yeah.
were had a really strong alliance on Batu, and now the new dynamic did not work in your favor. But
I mean,
um,
because one of these times, Kelly, this move is going to work. And I'm gonna have something in my pocket ready to play an idol, and I'm gonna get the votes on me, and I'm gonna protect somebody. So, but in this moment, it was more so to get the votes on me to protect Stephanie, so we can have the numbers truly versus her playing a shot in the dark. That was my thinking at the time, and again, it just didn't work out.
yeah, very sadly. We got to wrap really soon, but I have to ask you what you thought about the rap from Jeff. And
Okay,
people and were people
so
like snapping on beat? Like was everybody on beat there? Like how was that
I
going?
think just for the most part, but out
Yeah.
there, I'm not gonna lie, it sounded weird out there,
Yeah.
because there was no music. When you put the music on it, and I was like, okay, maybe it sounds good now. But out there, I was like, what? It's all off beat. What? I don't get it. But it was a fun way to do a trap swap though. It was Jeff coming in,
Unexpected.
leading into this new era way of playing, joyful, fun, different. And season 50, I liked it. Now, maybe we should give Jeff a guitar and he could do a little the country thing, but it is what it is. It was fun when we were doing it, but I was terrified to swap. And then when I finally picked my buff and saw who was on my trial, I was like, oh, man. And a lot of people ask me, just so you're clear, why was you targeting Angelina? Well, with the whole thing about not working around camp is one thing, but when we got to the beach, prior to getting to the beach, like Angelina used to always tell us, uh, hey, I haven't talked to Mike White in like 3 years. We're friends, but we haven't talked in a while. He's always busy. And then I get Mike White on the beach, and he says, like, yeah, I talked to Angelina right before we got here. And I'm thinking, like, okay, she's lying about that. She's downplaying that relationship. She's trying to play. I really have to get her out now.
It makes sense. Like she is a threatening player. Like even at like she's really strong in challenges and she clearly has good social game and everything too. So I get the mindset.
Yeah.
It's a similar mindset to getting you out. You of course didn't have the same kind of relationships as they did, but like you said, you were really likable, you know?
Yep.
So
Yep.
uh Well, Q, I'm so bummed. I was really rooting for you. You did a great job, regardless of your early elimination.
Thank
Like,
you so
I hope
much.
you come back to the show and I hope you stay on
Yep.
reality TV. You're so much fun to watch.
I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.